Hey guys, so in case you're wondering what the hell's going on behind me, I moved. I got a bigger place, I got more space to do some more things for this channel. I still got the same old crappy shelf as you can see, but I've got plans for it, okay? I promise you, I've got plans. This week has just been so stressful, probably the most stressful week for me in a very long time, between packing, moving, unpacking, and I still got ways to go, as you can see, or as you will see over the course of this video anyway. Which brings me to my next point. This past week has been so crazy, so hectic. I'm still adjusting, and because of that, I haven't really had time to go to the movies to review something new for you. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to have a review for you at all, okay? Follow me. This past week was the 91st Annual Academy Awards, and with it, we got a brand new Best Picture, but not just any Best Picture, okay? We got the spiciest, most juiciest Best Picture in a very long time, and when I say those words, I'm not talking about in regards to the plot, or the film as a whole, as a matter of fact. I'm talking more in regards to all the controversies surrounding this film. And in case you've been living under a rock for the past 4 or 5 months, I'm talking about Green Book, okay? This film, there is so much to talk about this film, and because of that, I thought it'd be so much fun to do something different in this video and go back and not only review it, but talk about those controversies, talk about whether this film actually deserved to win Best Picture. So, yeah, let's begin, guys. Sit back and relax, because this week, I'm reviewing Green Book. Was directed by Peter Farrelly, who, yes, is one half of the directing duo the Farrelly brothers, who have brought us films such as Dumb and Dumber and There's Something About Mary. The film stars Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, and it's based on a true story about a white man who's hired as a chauffeur for a black musician, and who must accompany him on his tour of the South during the 1960s, a time where racial segregation was at its peak. Sounds like a simple story, right? Wrong. Okay, so before we get into the review, I just want to touch on one of the smaller pieces of controversy surrounding this film, and that is the implication that this film may not be as much of a true story as we're all led to believe. Yeah, stay with me, because it kind of gets confusing. So, Nick Villalonger, who is one of the writers and producers for the film, stands by his statement, okay? He says that this is his father's story. His father was Tony Villalonger, and this is the story of his friendship with Doc Shirley. Doc Shirley is the person who Mahershala Ali plays in the film. He was a musician during the 1960s, a jazz musician, and yeah, he drove him around and they developed a beautiful relationship, right? That's his side. However, during award season, the family of Doc Shirley has actually come forward to say that no such relationship existed, that these two were not friends, that, Tony Villalonger was nothing but a driver. And I know it's weird. I mean, if why would you lie about a friendship? But then again, why would you deny a friendship if it was there? It's just, the whole thing is just very interesting. But there's no way for us to really know what's truth and what isn't, right? I mean, we just have to take both people's words and kind of decide for ourselves, right? That's what I thought. But then, it came out that apparently the family of Doc Shirley wasn't even contacted before the production of this film, which kind of says a lot. But at the same time, the producers and everyone involved with the film said that they didn't even know that Doc Shirley still had any living relatives. So this is a story that kind of wavers back and forth, just some minor controversy, as I said before, and also, as I said before, it's kind of just up for us to decide. So keep that in mind with the rest of this video. It's kind of relevant, but at the same time, it's just, just one of the things that kind of impeded this film during the award season, and obviously it was one of the hurdles that it was able to cross. Now, as I mentioned before, that was probably the smallest bit of controversy that this film endured during this past awards season. And honestly, I'm actually kind of second-guessing that now when I come to think of what happened with Viggo Mortensen. And for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, during one of the early Q&As for this film at a public screening, he dropped the N-word. And it wasn't like a slip, like he said it accidentally, like he used it. And the context was like semi-understandable, but still, man, I mean, if you're not African American, I mean, it's 2018 at that point. It's just unacceptable all around. And I mean, he faced a little backlash for it, but it wasn't to the point where, they were like, oh no, Viggo Mortensen's a racist. Even though, I mean, personally, I feel like if you're doing a film about racism, that should just that's a total no-no. So yeah, I'm still debating whether or not that was like a smaller thing than, your whole film being accused of being a lie. I think it definitely is small compared to that scale. But like I said, there were bigger things that happened. Nick Vallelonga, our favorite writer slash producer for the film, it was found out that he had an old tweet that supported Donald Trump's anti-Muslim policies. And this was unearthed right after they won the Golden Globe. So, I mean, as you can imagine, he did face a lot of backlash for that. And once again, if you're making a film about racism, I mean, come on, dude. Have a little bit more awareness. That didn't affect him as much because obviously he was still at the Oscars. I think he was barred from appearing at the Critics' Choice Awards. I could be mistaken, but he was barred from appearing at one award show because of that. And I'm surprised that went away as quickly as it did. But even so, there was more controversy, okay? Peter Farrelly, the director of the film, actually came out in an interview and he totally Morgan Spurlock this thing where no one asked him. He just came out and said that on some of his old films, he used to just walk around and pull out his genitals. It was okay. What? Yeah. This whole team is just weird, okay? I don't understand how these people got to work together. But then again, I do understand how they got to work together. This is just not okay. So he definitely faced a lot of backlash for that as well. And right now, after hearing all this, if you haven't heard it all before, I know you're probably wondering, what the hell? How did this film win Best Picture? How could it have won Best Picture? How could it have made it on the ballot? And, well, I've got an answer for that. Well, it won because a lot of people still liked it. Now, any critic will tell you, especially a film critic, that you should never let a piece of art be tainted by its artist's actions. And I think that's more true than anything in film, right? Once a piece of art, once a film is completed, it's out there, it becomes its own thing, a living, breathing organism, like a baby. And just because some parents are bad or bad people or make terrible decisions doesn't necessarily mean that their children are going to grow up to do the same thing or be bad people, right? No, I'm not a bad parent, am I, buddy?
Yeah.
What? You ever hear the term, there's no such thing as negative press? That's totally applicable here. The bottom line is that critics could not care less about negative press here because they love this film way too much. I'm not kidding, okay? This film has an A+ on Cinema Score. That's the same score as the cinematic classic Drumline, okay? And I'm really not kidding about that. Drumline has an A+ on Cinema Score. That's a really hard grade to get, by the way. But hey, they both have it. And you know what? It also has a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes last time I checked. And while that's not the best score, that's still fresh. Like I said, too many people love this film to care about anything else behind the scenes. I mean, I really like this film. Yes, it was cheesy, and absolutely it's something that's been done before. But as a whole, I still thought it was pretty good. Okay, and yes, it did have its flaws. For one, some of the dialogue was just god-awful, and some of the exchanges definitely felt too good to be true, especially for a film that's alleged to be true anyway. And the one scene that sticks out to me the most when I'm talking about that is the scene where Viggo Mortensen teaches Mahershala Ali to eat fried chicken for the first time. Yeah, that scene is really cringy. But don't get me wrong, and once again, as a whole, I think this film is very good. In fact, more accurately, I think this film is just very feel-good. This is the kind of film that you walk away from feeling like you could change the world. Feeling like, faith in humanity is restored. And while those kind of films are fantastic, they're amazing to watch, at the same time, they aren't necessarily realistic. And yeah, I know I was just talking very positively about this film, but now I'm going to make a sharp left and say that that was my biggest problem with this film. It just didn't feel realistic. The best films in the world to me, or the best pictures rather, are ones that not only challenge you and hold a mirror up to you and show you what is wrong with society and what can be changed, but they're also the ones that teach you about yourself and how you can change the world with others, not just by yourself. And that is where I think this film failed. It seemed very self-centered. It almost seemed to me like it was making the statement that, you know, the white man can single-handedly end racism. And that is absolutely not true. To me, like, if I had to say what I thought was the perfect best picture this year, I would have to say it was BlacKkKlansman. And for those of you guys who have seen my top films of 2018 or my best films of 2018 video, you'll know that that was my favorite film of 2018. For that reason and a whole bunch of others, if you haven't seen it, I'll put the link in the description box below. Shameless plug. But yeah, that's what I really like to see. I like to see, as I said before, films that show me not only what has happened in the past, but what is still happening. And this film just makes it seem like, you know, that chapter of America is over and done with. And that's just not true. Look, Green Book was a good film. I liked it. But did it deserve to win Best Picture?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
No. You gotta stop saying yeah to everything, okay?
Yeah.
No. No. The answer is very clearly no. Look, there were plenty of other films nominated for Best Picture that I would have loved to see take home that prize, in addition to BlacKkKlansman. But the problem with Green Book's win is that it just felt like a safe choice. Too much of a safe choice, really. And as much as it pains me to say this, and as much as I revere the Academy myself, I think I'm starting to realize that maybe their judgment isn't the best after all. Either that, or maybe they still have a long way to go. Oh, and if you were wondering what my rating for this film was, I give it 4 stars.
Why you break my balls?
Guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, I would ask that you please subscribe. I post new videos weekly, and I'm always working on new stuff. As you can tell, this was something new. I've never done this kind of video before, so if you liked it, if you want to see more in the future, please let me know in the comment section. Not just talking about the way in which this video was done, but just, you know, like retro kind of reviews, you know, movies that have already come out. Also, in the comment section, if you happen to see Green Book and you want to share your thoughts, whether or not you thought it deserved to win Best Picture, or even if you saw the Academy Awards and you want to talk about that, or if you just want to tell me how your day was, feel free to comment below in the comment section. I love to talk to any and all of you guys. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, it means the world to me that you take the time out of your day to view these videos. It really does. I love making them for you, and I cannot wait to continue making them for you, so I should probably get back to work. Until next time, I'm Dempsey Pulot. Take care.